Hi, Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection. I'm going to make this card with you today. This is a card that is made with shimmery white cardstock and acetate. You can tell we've been doing a lot of things with acetate because it really provides a lot of it can provide a lot of interest to your cards. So we're going to do some cutting. But you're also going to need besides your Stampin' Up cutter, you're going to need some inks. Old Olive, Soft Suede, your Memento Black, and for the sky, we're going to use Soft Sky. We're going to use the Wetlands Stamp Set, and we're going to need both a dauber, because we're going to do this color on the inside of our card with a dauber, and you're also going to need just a sponge so we can do some sponging around our bird. You are going to do some fussy cutting, and I did some embossing with clear right there, kind of make our bird stand out a little bit. So I would recommend some clear embossing powder as well. Okay? Alright, then let's get started. I have my Stampin' Up cutting board here because I'm going to go ahead and do some cutting to make our card. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm taking my shimmery white cardstock, which is 8.5 by 11. I'm going to cut it at 5.5 right here. And this is my scoring and this is my cutting tool. And now that I have this, let's see, it should be about 5.5 by, I don't know, let's see. It's 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so now I need to cut it in order to make the front of our card. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to score it at 4 1/4. I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way. I'm going to take my scoring blade and I'm just going to score it. So there's my card. So now I'm going to cut it by 6.5 in order to make our card. So I have 6.5 right there. I opened up my thing. There's 6.5 is right there. Okay, I'm looking at it right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, move my score out of the way, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, so this is the side where I'm going to put my my acetate. So I need a piece of acetate, and let's see where I put my here it is. Need a piece of acetate at least 6.5, right? Because it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So this is a nice long piece. I'm not going to cut it using my stamping cutter because the acetate actually cuts better if you use a regular cutting board. It really dulls your blade, so I wouldn't recommend using your stamping cutter for acetate. So I'm going to put my stamping cutter out of the way, and I'm going to take my card, and this is where I'm going to put my acetate. So I've made a couple of these, and the way I'd like to make this one is I'm not going to cut my acetate until the end because I'm going to use my cutter. I want to make sure that my acetate has a nice clean cut. So I don't mind if my acetate goes a little bit beyond the edge of my card. So I'm going to take my tear tape and take a piece here. And I'm going to take off my glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm so nearsighted, or is it farsighted? I don't remember. Okay, so I'm going to run my tear tape right along the edge of my card. Get my scissors and snip it right at the edge. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my X-Acto and I'm going to pick up my tear tape like this. Okay. And I'm going to take my acetate and I'm going to line up my card with my grid paper because I need to make sure that everything is square as I lay this acetate down. And it's a little hard to see, but if you just kind of start at the bottom and follow the edge of your tear tape, there, your acetate, you put your acetate on. Now it's a little off, just a little bit, but that's why I want to keep my some extra acetate up here because I want to make sure I get this square because I've already made a card that did not come out straight here, and that's really the pretty part of the card is when you close it and you've got that nice strip. Okay, so now I'm going to put the other piece, and I'm basically just going to use my acetate tape right on the edge there to put my white piece. Okay, just lining it up. Okay, so there's the edge of my acetate right here, and I've just put some tear tape there. And it's pretty doggone straight, but this is where you can open it up, get it aligned on your grid sheet, and make sure that you're straight. And if I look at this, I can actually see that my tear tape and my acetate are slightly off. So when I take off my tear tape, and I'm going to lay down my other sheet of paper, since this is it's lined up, it's square, I'm going to lay my paper down so that it's straight with the line on my grid paper, not on my acetate, because my acetate's just slightly off. So I'm just going to, I basically kind of line up the edge with a line that's straight, and then just lay it down. So you can see how pretty and straight that is, and you can tell right there where where my tear tape was, I was a little bit off there compared to up here. Up here my tear tape was right on, and then it kind of went off. So I could not line my acetate up with my tear tape. I had to go ahead and use the grid paper to keep everything square. Okay, so now that I've got that, you can tell that, you know, I've got some extra paper there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my cutting board, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this and turn this around, and I'm going to trim it there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've trimmed my card, and now everything is lined. Okay, So it really helps to kind of have just a little bit of extra so that you can make sure everything's straight. So now I'm going to take some Post-its and I'm going to mask the inside of my card, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm basically just going to fold my Post-it, and it's going to be a little bit, here, let me do it this way. I'm going to tear this paper right here. I'm going to have the sticky end. I'm going to kind of line it up along the edge, right about there, okay? All right, and then I'm just going to fold it over. Boom. So there I know where my edge is, okay? So now I can take my next piece and I'm going to kind of tear this, and I'm going to line that one up. And this one was just a tad over because I do not want to see any of the, I don't want to see any of the pink. See, I don't want to see any pink. There. That's not working for me. Hold on, let me do this again. Okay, hold the Post-it right kind of below the tear tape. Boom, there you go. So now I have that. Line this one up. Again, I'm masking. So I don't want to see any pink. I'm going to do the same on this side. This side's a little bit easier. Close it and see, I can close it and I can just lay it down in there. So there it is. Mask my other side. Close it to make sure I don't see any pink. If you see pink or whatever color you're working with, just move it over just a little bit, just so that, see, there I see a little bit of pink right there, so that's not even. I want to make sure it's even. Perfect, okay. There you go. I don't see any pink at all. So that's how I've masked the inside of my card. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to get rid of all my little scraps here. And I'm going to take my daubers and I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is Soft Sky. And I'm going to kind of daub it up with some ink. And I like to start kind of off the card. I don't start right on the card. I just stop off the card and then bring it on. So I kind of do it off on the pink and then then rub it. So I never put my dauber directly on my card paper, okay? I just kind of start it here and then move across. That way I don't want dark spots. I'm trying to create a very soft color change there. And if I start right on the card, then I'm going to get those little dauber spots. That's what I'm trying to eliminate. So after I use the blue, I'm going to take my Old Olive and I'm going to use the same process with my dauber. Get some color. I'm going to start it in the pink side and rub it on. So you can see I kind of have some color there. Try to blend it a little bit more. And then what I want to do is I want to put the darker color on the bottom and kind of work it up so it kind of meets the blue. So I like to have that darker green along the bottom. So there you go. Okay. So now that I've done that, you can see where I've kind of got those dark dauber spots, but I kept it off my white. I can go ahead and I can lift my masking off. And I've got my very nice, isn't that pretty, for my card. Now I don't know if you can see, but this shimmer paper is just so pretty. It's so elegant, very simple. So I really, it's really nicer when you're using white instead of just the Whisper white cardstock. It's really it really gives it a beautiful, elegant feel to it. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to take my wheat and I'm going to use my soft suede. And I'm basically going to just put one right here, and I think that's all. I'm just going to put one on that side. Okay, then I'm going to close my card, and I'm going to make sure that I have a baby wipe, okay, because I'm going to stamp at the same place, pretty close to where I stamped on the inside, only I'm going to do it on the outside, right there, and I'm going to stamp right there. Now, there's a little bit of ink on my acetate. I'm just going to wipe it very carefully off. Okay, and if you'll notice, because I got so close to the inside image and the outside image, it kind of lines up pretty close without having to use a stamping majig. So it's actually worked out pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to put my soft suede down, and I'm going to stamp my my bird. Where's my bird? Here's my bird. And I don't have any white paper. Yes, I do. I'm going to go ahead and use this. And I'm going to use my Memento ink. To ink my goose. Beautiful. Such a pretty stamp set. It's really gorgeous. You see how nice he came out? So now I'm going to fussy cut my goose. And it's going to take me a few minutes to fussy cut him, but just carefully just work your way around. And when I'm done fussy cutting him, I will be right back. Okay, so I finished fussy cutting the goose, our little goose here, and I have my sponge, and I'm going to take some crumb cake, which is a much lighter shade of brown, and I'm just going to put some color on him. Just around the edge. Just working it very slowly, just around the edge. Just trying to shade him in a little bit. Give him a little bit of, there you go. See, just give him a little bit of dimension. It'll look great right there. And then I'm going to take some Versamark because I am going to use some clear just to give him a little more pop. It also, when you emboss, it kind of makes your figure, if you fussy cut it, it makes it a little bit more durable, a little stiffer. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm basically just going to lay this guy down in my Versamark pad, and I'm just going to use my nail here, and I'm just going to get him Versamarked up. And then I'm going to go get my clear, and I'm going to lay him into my clear embossing powder. See, he's all nice and wet, and I'm going to emboss him, and I'll be right back. So I had my embossing powder off camera, so I had to go get it, and I just wanted to show you that I just laid it in my tray and just got the clear embossing powder all over my goose. I'm using a pair of tweezers, and I'm gonna go emboss him. Okay, so there's our bird. He's nice and embossed, and he's ready to go on our card. But first, I want to stamp my sentiment with Memento. Stamp that up nice and good, and I'll place that right here. That's beautiful. Okay. That's my Memento ink pad, and I'm going to take some dimensionals, because I kind of want my bird to kind of sit up a little bit. So, and I really don't mind if it shows through the acetate, because it's just pretty either way. I'm just cutting a little bit of this piece on the end so I can put it on its head. Okay, and very easily take off my dimensional backings. Okay, turn it around. And there's our bird. I wanted him a little bit high because he doesn't have all his legs. He's standing in the grass. Okay, there he is. You open up the card, and there you go. It's really a very, very pretty card. Very easy to make. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this video, learning how to make another card using acetate with the Wetlands Stamp Set. These are some cards that I wanted to make in kind of the masculine vein, because I've had some customers that have asked me to kind of show some masculine cards. So hopefully this gives you some ideas and some techniques that you can apply to any of your stamping projects. So thanks for watching. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection. Happy stamping.